What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk some college football action. We are waiting one day away from the big games coming on Saturday, but I love these kind of midweek kind of spots for a lot of these teams, and I love how we just get like 2-3 games on the midweek slate, and that's where it really allows you to tack some lines. And a lot of times, my kind of theory within college football betting, and something I look forward to, is always betting the smaller schools with more handle because they're in a prime time spot. Lets you read between the lines a little bit, and that's kind of something I've had a lot of success with. We had some success yesterday, going 2 out of 3 within my best bets that I gave out on the channel. A lot of those flew with ease. James Madison ended up taking care of business. We did get the Western Kentucky team total flyover. The only one that kind of stunk was Middle Tennessee State. And they unfortunately did not kind of keep up there in the bargain. But that was one where we took a little stab on it. It was not something where I told you guys over the Discord. It was one of those picks that was not kind of a in love with picks, so we'll live with it. Have seen a lot of totals go over in these midweek games, so that's going to be something we're looking into as well. So let's get down into it. Welcome back to Vegas, live from the Bellagio room from my view. There's a outstanding streak going down this. These window cleaners out here in Vegas are absolutely nuts. We see them walking down the hallways. Not a job that I'd like to do, but anyways, I digress. Let's get it going. Cheers, welcome back, and let's get into the picks. All right, so if you haven't done so, though, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, and as always, guys, let me know your picks down below in the Discord as well as in the comments box as well. Okay, but this is where we're going to dive into Outlier. I'm going to show you guys kind of what's going on. In the first game we're going to talk about is Northwestern and Maryland. We're seeing a little bit more so of the handle on the Northwestern Wildcats, but more so on the under in terms of the money spread out there for the total. This is one where it's kind of a weird spot, and my best bet for this game, I am actually going to take the over. I'm going to go a little contrarian against the money, and I'll tell you guys why in a little bit. Okay, but this is something where we see the number has risen from 42.5 up to 45.5. So this is the worst spot of the number, 42, 45. Those are key numbers. So I'm not going to chase this, right? That's why I'm giving it out as a lean. So if you guys want to just look at this game, just keep an eye on this number, because what I'm going to be backing is going to be the over. I did not bet this, but if this number does creep down and we get back to the territory around 42.5, the number here is something that I do favor. More so because we look at the Indiana game, where I do like what Indiana is able to do. And some of these common kind of data points that we're seeing within their scheduling. Okay, Northwestern and Indiana both, Northwestern and Maryland both played the likes of Indiana, and both of those scores went into the 60s. So that's just kind of how I look at it. That's why I would bet the over. Also, I do like Maryland's offense a lot, and I think that Northwestern on the road, a weekday game, a little bit kind of shorter notice and a travel spot. Just going to go towards the likes of the over. That's where I'm at within this. We can dive into some of the numbers, but like I said, it's just kind of a lean. It's not an official play, so I will give that out as a lean, but we will track it because I probably will end up incorporating that into my mix somehow. The only thing that really gets me worried about Northwestern here is the fact that I don't really trust the fact that they're going to be able to score enough. But I think Maryland has a strong enough offense, and they don't really play a great style of defense, so we do get a lot of times that Maryland squad keeping teams around. We might see a touchdown back and forth game, get both teams in the 20s, and then cashing over. So that's kind of where I'm at within that first game. All right, no play on this side. The next one we're going to talk about is UNLV and Utah State. So we're going to keep it right here in Vegas, and I do favor the UNLV Rebels in this game a lot. I think minus 19 is a very, very interesting number. We can look at kind of this past matchup, and right now we're seeing kind of a discrepancy with, we have a little bit more of the money towards the over, and we do have the and then we do have the let me find it. We do have a little bit more of the handle is on the over, which is great. It supports the case for UNLV, and a lot of the money's on UNLV. So it is kind of a hometown hero out here. So that's probably why the books are favoring it. But I do like the over. I do like UNLV. This is a game that, quite frankly, is really attractive to me. I'm a fade Utah State kind of guy. We can look at kind of what UNLV was able to put up against Syracuse. Now, Syracuse is no spring chicken. We were on that pick, that overtime loss that UNLV had in that big spot. But I do like the fact that we just have a team that can score points. They can play great defense. They have an athletic quarterback. I do favor athletic quarterbacks with overs more so than not. And then Utah State on the other end of the argument gave up 62 points to Boise State, gave up 45 points to Temple. 38 to Utah, 48 to USC. 36 to or 14 to Robert Morris when they were able to score 36. This is a very bad football team, guys. This might be one of the worst teams in the entirety of the college football ranks. We can look at some of the metrics and how they stack up. I mean, defense is dead last for Utah State. UNLV plays fast. They play athletic. Offensively, their efficiency numbers, running the football, throwing the football, they have a lot of success. UNLV is the 15th best pass team in the country for my money. So this is something where I don't think Utah State, right there in that bottom 5% is bottom 10 defense. I don't think that this is going to be relevant. UNLV pretty much has the edge and everything. The only thing that can get us in our way is the fact that Utah State may end up in turn just kind of screwing themselves because they won't be able to stay on the field, and then we get some kind of a weird run it out kind of game. But I do like the over in the spot. It's probably my favorite play of the day. Also, I do want to tell you guys that Utah State does play fast, and this is kind of a spot where it looks at UNLV here. I don't know why this number is not bigger, quite frankly. I think it's a little bit cheap. UNLV is on the road, so this is something where you worry about late in the game, how much of a door do they open for Utah State, and that's the only thing that really gets me going here. But we are seeing a ton of the money on UNLV. This is a great dance partner in a lot of ways, and I do lend towards the UNLV minus 19.5, and I do like the UNLV over as well. So this is kind of where you don't want to chase a number, so make sure you watch this video as pretty much early as you can. But right now we're seeing that best number available in the market is way different. It's 66.5, so that's going to be up there. Okay, and that's going to be up there. I just got to tell you guys that I think it's pretty much a little bit on the higher spectrum. So don't chase it if you don't like it. Personally, I'd like to get it under 66.5. I did like kind of where we started out here, and seeing that opening number at 58.5. That's where I would have taken it at. But that's where its number has been bet extremely out of control. So I'm going to go with the UNLV minus 19.5 as my official play. But I do lean towards that over 66.5 just because I think that this one could get ugly here in Utah. Okay, so last game out there is another primetime big matchup. Utah going against Arizona State. So we're going to keep it out on the West Coast. We do get this matchup where we look at a very efficient Utah club, and this is something where, for my money, Utah's to play. 5.5 is where we're going to be at. This is something where I look at this number being just a little bit fishy for me. Utah is probably one of my favorite money line plays of the day. We can look at kind of where this game has opened. We do see this number bet up from 5 to 5.5, 46.5 in the market. And like I said, it's just slightly an edge towards the money side if we do want to get into Utah, as well as the over in the spot. Quite frankly, I think this is kind of a sneaky Utah sleep spot. In Cam Rising, we all know kind of how his status is with injuries and if he's going to show up. But this is kind of a fishy game. I like Utah on the money line. I don't necessarily like the 5.5. So that's kind of where I'm going to be at with a teaser, where I'm going to take UNLV minus 13.5 and the Utah money line, basically. So we'll get a two-leg teaser where we do have both of those have to happen, and you will get that around minus 125, minus 130. And that way we do effectively get UNLV to win by 2 touchdowns and Utah just basically to win the game outright. I don't trust the number in itself, but that's how I'm going to be attacking this game. Arizona State can play sneaky good defense. So if Utah kind of has a poor offensive showing and they're not able to play to their strengths and run the football, Arizona State, by all accounts, can run the football very well themselves. Okay. So that's kind of where Utah in their defense able to stop the run. It's kind of a clash of the two Titans because Arizona State's one of the most efficient rushing teams in college football. So it's going to be a good matchup. This is probably, in some weird way, the game that I'm going to be watching and more interested in than any of them. Maybe the Northwestern game, just from a Big Ten Midwest perspective. But for my money, it's going to be on the Utah money line. Couple that with the UNLV minus 13.5 teaser. That's probably my favorite bet of the day. I don't like to tease college football, but a lot of times you can find some juicy spots, and what better way not to approach kind of a little 3-game slate if you get them all involved. So that's what I got for you guys in this video. It's something where we are going to be pumping out a lot of content. It's going to be a fun one tomorrow. We'll have a video out for the Ohio State-Oregon matchup very shortly. Also, I want to tell you guys that the baseball run that we've been on is pretty historic within the postseason. It's been a great MLB playoffs. The only thing we need now is the Indians to win Game 5 as they face Tarek Skubal in the dominant lefty that he is. So appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe down below. Hop on over to Discord. Follow me on X. All that good stuff. And we'll see you guys all in the next video. Good luck with your picks.